Hey there, entrepreneurs. My name is Sushant, and welcome to Trek Talks. This is the show where I interview successful e commerce entrepreneurs, business executives, and thought leaders, and ask them questions about their business story and also dive deep into some of the strategies and tactics that they have used to start and grow their businesses. And today I'm really excited to welcome Stacy Moore to the show. Stacy is the founder of Healing Harbors. Healing Harbors specializes in selling personal care and pet products made with CBD from hemp. And today I'm going to ask Stacy a few questions about her entrepreneurial journey and some of the strategies and tactics that she has used to start and grow her business. So thank you so much for joining me today at Trek Talks, Stacy.
Thanks for having me.
So anyone who doesn't know what CBD is, can you explain what that is and how did you come to use that into your products?
Yeah, so what's really cool about CBD is it's from cannabis, the cannabis plant. And so it's the non-intoxicating element that's one of the most prevalent compounds found in the hemp plant. So a lot of people are finding different uses for it. And so how I sort of stumbled on it was I was doing home healthcare after getting out of the military for 6 years. I was a helicopter mechanic out of Kodiak, Alaska. And got out, and I just really enjoyed taking care of people. So I had a leading geriatric consultant I was taking care of who had had a stroke. And so she was paralyzed on the right-hand side. And so I noticed she was using a cannabis cream, and it was able to loosen up her hand and all the way up to her shoulder, and then her leg all the way down to her feet. And so I was really interested into like why this was helping her. So I started taking classes through Medical Marijuana Caregivers of Maine. And I learned as much as I could about the endocannabinoid system and cannabinoids and why this might be working. And I started doing my own formulations of things. And I ended up stumbling onto a product that made her able to open up her hand and find relief. And I could do range of motion exercises with her. And then a year into using the cream, all of a sudden she picked up her arm and moved it after a neurologist told her, you're as good as you're going to get. You're not going to get any better. You're going to have to accept this. So because of this, she was able to be more independent. And so she said, you know what, Stacy, you really need to start up a company. You need to let people know in the community that this is an option for you. And so that's how I started Healing Harbors, to just educate. And that's the biggest thing that we're really trying to do, is to educate them and let them know that they're taking a safe product. I wouldn't give this, I'd give this to loved ones. And so I want them to really trust what they're putting into their body or on their body. And so we really try to encompass, a high end quality with also the education that needs to come along with a lot of this, because I know how confusing it can be for so many people.
And your product line, so you're selling products for personal, for people, for their personal use, and also for pets. Can you describe your product line a little bit and what problems it is solving?
Yeah. So one of our number one sellers is our body butter. And that's the one that really, for those arthritic hands and joints for many, they seem to really find relief with that, from all the testimonials that we've gotten back, and they really like that one. We also have tinctures that people take too, and for pets as well. So those, anxiety, pets or arthritic pets, older pets, they're able to find relief that way. And then we also do like massage oil. We've got bath soaks. A whole array of different stuff, and capsules too, because not everyone likes the flavor of it. So, and we have things that are also THC free as well. So, because some people are really, really sensitive to the THC, or they're not comfortable taking any form of amount of THC. So, that gives them an option. And then, we're constantly trying to innovate and coming up with new products that will be able to help people in our community as well.
So CBD, is this, from what I know, I have very limited knowledge about CBD. Mm-hmm. And I think it came to my consciousness maybe about like 2 or 3 years ago. I started hearing about more and more about, CBD, and I came across like different websites, that had CBD products. Is this really something that is like medically approved? Is there some medical research that supports all the medical benefits of this?
There's a lot of anecdotal evidence of how much it's helped. And they're constantly doing research. I mean, Israel's done a lot of research too. And there's so many cannabinoids that they're identifying, and flavonoids and everything. And how it all works together is like a symphony when you have all these flavonoids and cannabinoids all together. And so you're going to see more of like, the CBG, the CBC, the CBN, all those different things that are going to come out too with these brands that, a lot of times they say the CBN helps with sleep, but each person is different. And that's one thing that we really try to educate people about, was like how it may affect one person might affect someone differently. So it just depends. And some people have a really high tolerance and other people have a really low tolerance. So that's why we suggest just starting out low and slow, working your way up and journaling through it and writing little notes of like, hey, this helped me sleep. I went to sleep in no time, when I took this amount, or, I was having a lot of anxiety and I took this amount and I felt better. And so just being able to like, just be self-aware. And some people, they'll take it, they'll take a tincture or something and they'll use it for the month. And then like, oh, it didn't really work. And then after that month's up and they haven't had it for a few days, they actually feel a big difference. They might be more sore, more anxious, or, more aggravated. It's so different how it affects every person.
So it seems like you are manufacturing your own products. Can you share a little bit about that? Like, do you have your own manufacturing facility, and what kind of work goes into creating these products?
Yeah, so we've got some stuff that we don't do in-house, and those are just the capsules, just because we've got such a great company that we work with that does such a great job. But everything else is made in-house. The body butter, I was able to take it to a manufacturer, and I was like, okay, this is what I've got. I want to finesse it a little bit more, and so we worked with a co-packer, and he worked hard with it, and that was a lot of expensive lessons learning through that. But yeah, we do have our own facility. We have MOFGA certified hemp, so we've done 2 hemp grows 2 years in a row. And it's really been educational to just see like how the plants grow and the different terpenes that they give off and the different smells and how the plants grow differently. It was really nice to see like ladybugs on them, and it was really nice and therapeutic, and seeing all the work that goes into it. And we were blessed with a whole bunch of like volunteers that just wanted to come help us, to support us, other business owners, just friends of friends, and family. So so it was a learning curve the first couple of years, just trying to figure out what to do, and like finding insurance and making sure that we have a payment processor, making sure that our website wouldn't get shut down. There's a lot of ins and outs. There's no advertising on Facebook or Instagram unless you have a lot of money. So being a small business is really difficult for us to be able to do things like that. But we're a small company, but we're strong. We're 4 women strong. And everyone has an integral part of the company, and I'm so blessed of like where it's come today to like really be able to do almost everything in-house, and it's a good feeling to know that like the company is employing and they're also giving back to the community.
And how long? So which year did you start? Did you start during the pandemic or before?
I started in 2016. And I started Healing Harbors, and then started like perfecting the formulations and everything like that, launched in 2017. And where I felt confident in the products that we had, and then we've gradually added on and taken some away because some may not sell well, or or there's too much education to it that's needed. So
initially, when you started, because you're doing your own manufacturing, I guess you didn't have to worry about, buying too much, too many, packs of it, or, however you sell them. Were you able to control the inventory and basically test the market? So you put your product out there on your website and see, what kind of demand we are getting, and then focus on the products that are selling, and not on the ones that are not selling. Was that the approach that you took?
Yeah, that's pretty much how we did it. And we started off like word of mouth, and people would buy, and then we got the website launched, and then we found that SEO was really important for us to have, because we had a company, but they stopped working on our website, I guess. And so we noticed a huge dip at the most crucial time. And so, so it took us about 6 months to recover from that to get sales back up. So then we pivoted and did a whole bunch of more wholesale companies. So, and we're really particular about the kind of companies that we partner with. We want to make sure that whoever we partner with has the time to educate their employees, to educate their patrons that come in, or their patients, or whoever it might be that's coming in to buy, because it can be overwhelming, and choosing what's right for them or their family or their pets can be a little overwhelming. So we want to make sure that they have that nice touch of being able to explain it to them.
So it seems like there's a good amount of education that goes into. I mean, you want your customers to be educated so they can make the right choice. What ways do you use besides just using your website or the text? Are you creating like educational videos? How else are you educating
We do pop-up events for different stores to really make sure that their patrons know and their employees know. I'll pop into just to see, like, hey, so tell me about this product line, and just to see if they know their stuff. And I'm usually always pleasantly surprised, which means that we're doing our job in doing that. But also, like, having collateral has been key to doing a lot of this stuff, because people can take the stuff home and then they can read it and they can be like, oh, well, this might be an option for me. So I think that that's where it's really helpful for people, because they can just grab something and go, or we get a lot of phone calls or emails to us, just asking us basic questions, or hey, if I'm taking a blood thinner, can I take this? Great question. A lot of people don't realize that when they're they need to have their INR checked. And if they're taking a strong CBD tincture that's a full spectrum, it's kind of like a leafy green. So they need to start out slowly and make sure that they let their doctor know, so that they can have their INR checked throughout to make sure that it's not going to throw off their blood thinner levels.
Okay. Initially, when you launched, were you working somewhere, or did you go completely 100%? And what kind of investment did you need to get the business off the ground? And did it come from yourself, or did you get a loan or something like that?
Yeah, so that was the hard problem. Is I was doing home health care, and I realized, oh, I can't get a loan because I'm in the CBD hemp industry. So what am I going to do? So I had some friends, they loaned me the money to start out Healing Harbors with my business partner, Ashley. And it's just been a lot of learning curves, a lot of investments for packaging and labels and SEO and website, and all these things pop up, and you're like, oh my gosh. So after the first year or so after we got going, I ended up quitting my job, and I was able to focus, because manufacturing was so demanding, because I was making a whole bunch of different kinds of soap and body butter and tinctures, and it was a lot. So I was glad that I had the opportunity to be able to quit and just focus solely on Healing Harbors.
So it seems like um, in the market, the CBD industry or the hemp-related products industry is looked down upon. So nobody working in this industry is able to get loans from like a traditional bank.
Right. Yeah. No, we're really outcast as far as everyone's concerned. And I know we've got the Farm Bill of 2018, and then the hemp. It's been approved, it's legal, but we even had a bank account, and they said, are you selling outside of the state? We're like, yeah, we are. And they're like, okay, well, our lawyer says that we need to shut you down. And so we're like, okay, so it's just like we're constantly running into these roadblocks. It's really frustrating for us, but we're resilient. And if it weren't for the people that support Healing Harbors, we wouldn't be where we're at today. And we're so thankful for them to really push us through some of these roadblocks that we keep running into. So, but we're getting there, and I'm hopeful that it's getting better.
Okay. In terms of your target market, can you share who's your main target market, and if there's any unique characteristics to this category or market?
So we found that the majority of our market is women. Usually they're mid 40s and up, just because they tend to be like the caretaker of the family. They care about their spouse, they care about the kids, they care about the family pets. So that's kind of like who we gravitate toward usually. So and I think it's been helpful knowing who and how to approach, and how to talk to people, and then they're also the ones that will like grab the literature and take it home and read it later too, a lot of times. So but we try not to discriminate, and that's why our slogan is care for everybody. Well, whether age, shape, form, whatever you're taking it for, like no judgment. We're just here to help and hope that the product can help.
Now, this question is more out of curiosity than anything. So, CBD is from a hemp product, and now cannabis is becoming more and more accepted, I guess. I mean, in Canada for sure. I'm from Canada, but
Yeah.
also a lot of states in the US. Do you ever think about including more of a cannabis kind of product line into your business, more of, cannabis-based products and so forth, also as just like as a second category?
you know there's such great benefits, and I feel like there would be even more education if we branched over right now into the THC level. I feel like maybe once it becomes federally legal, we'll be open to it. But right now, I feel like it would be too much of a hassle. However, I'm a huge proponent, and if a product we're making may not be quite the right fit for them or not strong enough what they need, I have no problem saying, hey, you know what? There's a local caregiver or a dispensary here. I would reach out to them and I would talk to them about different options, because depending on what kind of cancers they have and that sort of thing, they might need something custom made like suppositories, depending on what the cancer is, where it's at. So I really try to not make it just about healing harbors, but make them feel important, and like that they have different options too if they're still in excruciating pain and our products aren't covering that, because I think sometimes THC can definitely help more than just the CBD.
In terms of competition, I'm assuming you do have a good amount of competition in the market, both online and a retail kind of a space.
Yep.
The way you differentiate your product offering is really just the formulations that you've come up with.
Yeah. And it's the CBD is also like a strain, like you're using a certain strain for to smoke or whatever. And we have ours for hemp as well, so that at least they're getting consistency with our products. So it's not like different kinds, because you got different terpenes and flavonoids and all those different different strains. So it's important that they get that consistency. So for the next few years, hopefully, while we have that same strain, we'll hopeful to keep delivering. But yeah.
So you are buying these hemp plants. You're not growing them. I believe you said you are growing them also. So
Yeah.
what do you buy? Like you buy the seeds? How do you?
Yep. We bought the seeds, and then we started them out, and then we sexted them out so that we got just females. And so and then we planted them and did it that way.
Okay. So you must be quite an expert now on growing hemp products and uh, cultivating different strains and so forth.
Yeah. No, I have learned a lot, but you know what? I'm no master. I'm continually learning. I will never be an expert in the hemp industry. I'm constantly learning, which is a good thing. I find it interesting.
Is there a seasonality to your products or business? Like, does it sell well on over the winter, or it doesn't matter?
I think it depends. Sometimes it's hard around the holidays because people are saving up for Christmas gifts. But then there's also people buying it saying, oh, my significant other's family's coming. I need to medicate them while they're here and just let them chill out. So it just kind of depends. I know for like end of the summer, I know sometimes like, people that do their own outdoor grow here in Maine, they may not need as much hemp products because they've got their own, higher THC stuff. So it just depends. But, our slow months are usually like January, February, March.
Okay. What are all the sales channels that you're selling from right now?
So we've got our e-commerce right now, and then we've got wholesale. So that's where we're doing right now.
Okay. And I'm assuming e-commerce is your best sales channel?
It is, yep.
Okay. In terms of marketing, I know you mentioned a few things before, your SEO and paid. Can you share a little bit more about what works really best for you? I mean, paid is kind of a bit challenging these days with some changes on iOS and so forth.
Yeah.
Can you share how do you acquire new customers?
Yeah, so definitely the SEO is what helps us. I know that we can do better with like YouTube and just do educational videos. That will help us as well. But we've got a little storefront too, and some people stop by and but that's far and few between. Where really pop-ups are really what helps us. And we'll do like the lobster boat races. We'll do a donation there, so we'll be on a sweatshirt, and people like Healing Harper's, what's that? And then it gives you an opportunity to educate. But we've tried radio, and that didn't really work. We tried print, that didn't really work. So it's really hard. And now that there's like such competition where you can really find CBD in gas stations, you can find them all over the place. So they'll be like, well, I bought it at a gas station and it didn't work. That stuff's useless. So it makes it hard, because then it's like, oh, okay, all right. So, one thing that we found is we put little QR codes on the bottom of all our products so that people can just take a photo of it, and it will pull up the test results of that batch, that they know exactly what they're getting in or on their body. Because we want them to know exactly what they're getting so that they know what to expect, and they know that they're getting what they paid for. And getting that consistency is important. And I'm hoping that, other companies follow suit too. And I know it's expensive to get everything tested, but it's so worth it when you're, a trusted brand, and, people know exactly what they're taking.
So is your biggest market within Maine, or are you selling whole United States, and do you sell in Canada also?
No, we haven't started any international sales or anything like that, just because we don't have a compliance team. So we don't really know the rules and regulations as far as like international sales. So we're trying to focus on really saturating the state of Maine in our community. And then we're branching out, like we're in Florida and Oregon and California. So we're around here and there, but we'd really like to get bigger and get a bigger maybe distribution for us for in bigger branches.
Are you big on social media? Is that a big channel to drive sales, or no?
It is sometimes. We actually found emails are the best, sending out email blasts with, promo codes, or educating them on a new launch of a product and stuff like that. And then people reach out to us and ask us questions, which I love, where they're like, hey, what is this supposed to help with? Or, and it just like drives up, great questions. So I really enjoy that.
What is your warehousing, fulfillment, shipping kind of strategy? Are you doing everything on your own? Are you using third parties?
No, we're doing everything on our own. We've got a great team. We use recycled, things to be able to do all of our shipments. So, and we try to get it, like if we get the order in within, we try to get it out within 24 to 48 hours after getting it placed.
And do you ship, does your customer want a quick shipping, or they're okay to wait 5 to 7 days? Are you using which carriers are you using to ship?
We're using the USPS, and everyone in Maine usually gets it within a couple days, so they're really happy with it. And it obviously it takes a little bit longer, further in the country, but everyone's been pretty happy. And I think that that's one thing that we strive to do. Our team is really trying to have fast shipping to make sure that they get their products right away.
And do you charge your customers for shipping, or have you built a way to uh,
Yeah.
take in that cost?
We were doing $100, but because the cost of everything's gone up and the shipping costs have gone up, we've now I think upped it to $200. But sometimes we'll do like a promo code and offer free shipping so that those folks can go ahead and reach out to us, when they want that. But yeah, so it's definitely like it costs us a lot of money to ship a lot of stuff out, and it hits our bottom line, but and then with the war and everything now in Ukraine, our cost of goods have gone up 25%. And
Wow.
so, yeah, 25%. And so we haven't upped our prices. We're trying to like really be able to keep it so that it doesn't cost the consumer, because at the end of the day, they need our products.
Okay. I think you mentioned that initially or before starting the business, you were in the military and you were doing helicopter technician role.
Yep.
So I'm just curious, how did you? I mean, you don't miss being a helicopter technician. Like, couldn't you have worked like in a private industry doing that kind of a thing? I'm assuming that would be a good paying, well-paying job.
Yeah, I definitely could have. I had a couple job offers, but I think I was just burnt out from it. Just constantly working and I loved what I did, but I was scared of heights. And but I overcame them as best I could. But I met some great people, worked with some great people, and I'm still friends with many of them. I needed a change of scenery after that, and I miss it. I do. I miss having the best office in the world. Being able to fly all over throughout Alaska and seeing the bears and the whales and the sheep and just everything. It just, no photos could ever do it justice when I was up there, and it just like it took my breath away every single time I flew. So, but it's nice to be able to have my feet on the ground every night, and but it was a great experience, and I think it got me to where I am today, and I think it made me think about, like, I still want to give back, but I want to give back in a different way, and so that's why I'm doing this. And I know being up in Alaska, a lot of people suffer from seasonal affective disorder just because it's dark so much of the time, and I know it really affected me. And I wish that I had been able to take CBD when I was in the military, because I think it would have helped me a lot. And I think it would help a lot of other people. And I just wish that there wasn't such a negative stigma, especially in the military when it comes to CBD products. I wish that, like they won't even let you use hemp shampoo. And so, just that control, it's sad. And, with all the people with skin issues, if they could benefit from it, or, aches and pains and, rough area landings, and you got sore joints, it would be nice to have had my product up there. I think that it would have definitely helped me. So this is just a way that I can still give back, even though I'm not doing the same thing.
Now, I know you mentioned you have 4 team members. I'm assuming you have one co-founder also. And can you share a little bit about your team and what responsibilities everyone has, including yourself?
Yeah. So Ashley Lentz is my business partner, and she's amazing. She's really the one behind our brand design. She does all of our labeling and so much stuff. Like I can't even list it all. She's just a great partner to have. And she's really passionate about the product line too. And she knows how much it's helped her and friends and family. So she's just great with everything that she's done and doing. And I'd be lost without her. And then we've got Jess. And so Jess is our manager. And so she's been like doing all the heavy lifting, doing a lot of the social media, doing, the bookkeeping, just, coming up with formulations and just doing a lot of the day-to-day grind stuff. She's a force to be reckoned with. She's amazing. And then we've got another woman, Kristen, and she's just Jess's backbone. And she does so much. And like she does all of our blueberry jellies and mango jellies and dog treats that the people just love. So she, and she does a lot of the shipments. And so she's just wonderful too. And so it's just the four of us, and, we all kind of like help each other out. And so.
And you take more of a face of the company, marketing kind of a role?
Yeah, so like I'll get back to, different stores, or I'll pop in and check in on them and see how they're doing. But and I'll help with, body butter making days and, things like that, wherever I can, just the fill-in person, and just, kind of the voice of the company, and being able to educate and just, do whatever I can to help.
Okay. What does your future vision look like for this business? Where do you see this business, growing? Do you see yourself working in this business for the next decade, or this is kind of like your life's work? How do you see this business in the future?
I hate to say it, but I think a lot of it will depend on the laws, the rulemaking that comes down from the USDA and, everything like that. Um, I, yeah, I mean, I'm passionate about it. I definitely have some ideas, things that we can do. And, it'll be interesting to see like, how it evolves. But, I would love to have us be in a space where we can, have our own hemp that we grow and extract, and it's all in-housed in one place. And, we're able to grow different herbs and, do our own essential oil extracts and, that sort of stuff. And, is it a little high hope? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see, but it's definitely something that I think I'm passionate about, the team's passionate about. And I think the women all bring great ideas. And so, we're all ready for growth.
Do you have any business mentors or advisors who advise you in terms of growing the business, or how to overcome challenges and those kind of things?
So we did a Top Gun program here in Maine. So it's kind of like Shark Tank. And so we met some great mentors. And we had one, Cynthia, and she's now with this company called CEI, but she really was like, you guys need to know the money. You need to know what it's costing you for manufacturing. You need to know cost of goods, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah. And your time's valuable. So you need to incorporate that in there, and things that like we hadn't really thought about. And so, and like contingency money funds and, just things like that we didn't think about. And she had run like multi-million-dollar companies. So I think she was one of the most influential people as far as like, for us understanding like what we needed to do. And I mean, she gave it to us rough, and she told us like we need to get our butts in gear. And sometimes it's hard to hear that constructive criticism, but I think it only helped us in the long run.
Now, in every entrepreneur's journey, there's always some mistakes made, challenges, lessons learned. Can you share maybe one or two of your biggest mistakes when you look back, throughout your business journey? And what did you learn from it? What can other entrepreneurs learn from it?
I think one of the biggest things that, and I know Ashley can relate to this, that we learned is that anything can happen in the drop of a hat. So we had our co-packer I worked with the formulation. So he had it down, but he hadn't taught me how to make it or anything. So he had done a round of one batch. And so we had little 1 ounce jars, but we needed our 3 ounce jars to be made. And in between that, he had passed away.
Oh.
So I had to learn how to make body butter one time. And it wasn't exactly right. Like I had to tweak it a little bit, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the formulation or anything. I just knew the key ingredients that needed to be in it. And it was a lot. Some tears were shed. It was a really tough time. And the family members just, sold us all the equipment that we would need to take it in-house. And so it was hard, and it was heart-wrenching, the fact that we had to go through that, but even more heart-wrenching that his family had to go through that. So it was, we didn't want to push it, but luckily he had an assistant. And so his assistant worked with us one day and just showed us how to do it. And, and it was eye-opening, and it just made me really appreciative of him for like at least helping me and like showing me what I needed to do. And then we were able to adjust and move on. But I think it was just always have a backup plan, because you never know. and I think I was intimidated taking it in-house and doing it in-house. But because of the situation, it gave us the strength and the backbone to be able to be like, yeah, we got this, we can do this, we'll get through this. But yeah, it was hard. It was a really difficult time.
Did when the pandemic hit and everything closed down, did that actually help your business? Did it hurt your business? And now that we are coming out of it, what has been its effect on your business?
Yeah, so it definitely affected us because we were in a lot of touristy places. And so with all the stores shut down, that was our bread and butter for the summertime. So that's where a lot of our products would sell, whether the cruise ships came up through Maine or wherever. So it definitely impacted us in a negative way. It was stressful. There was a lot of anxiety. We didn't know whether we were going to stay in business or not, because of it. But like our patrons were there for us and they really helped us out. And some of them, we had quite a few new customers too, like towards the end of it, because they're like, I need this to help cope during this really tough time. And so we were like so blessed that we're still standing, because a lot of companies aren't.
Okay. So now I'm going to move on to our rapid fire segment. And in this segment, I'm going to ask you a few quick questions and you have to answer them maybe one or two words or a sentence or so short answers. Okay. So the first question is one book recommendations for entrepreneurs or business people in 2022 and why?
I think any book by Brene Brown, because I think she teaches you how to communicate. And I think out of everything that I've learned, that's the biggest thing, is being able to communicate and making sure that your employees feel heard and making sure that you feel heard as well to them, and that you're articulating how you feel to them and vice versa.
An innovative product or idea in the current e-commerce, retail, or tech landscape that you feel excited about?
Oh, man. It's hard with CBD. I mean, I've got so many different ideas that I think would be kind of cool, but
is there anything that helps you in running your business, like even from a digital business perspective, any app or any software?
Yeah, we need an inventory management that works with WooCommerce and every app, so that like it will take it, because there's not very many apps that work with WooCommerce and Square and all these different things. So they need to come up with an app that's affordable for small business that doesn't cost you thousands of dollars a month.
So you're using WordPress for your e-commerce website?
Yep.
So why did you not go with Shopify, or do you plan to go with Shopify?
Yeah, we did have Shopify, but for some reason we had to switch over to WooCommerce, and I think it was Square. I think that's why, wherever our payment processing, we had to pivot off from there, because we could be shut down any day from Shopify because we were a CBD company. Okay.
That's very interesting. A business or productivity tool or software that you would recommend, or a productivity tip?
Let's see. I really like Square as far as payment processing, because they did like a trial period. And so like I really appreciate them like standing up and, for the CBD industry, and like really taking, starting up a beta program for companies. I'm very appreciative, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't probably not be in business right now.
A startup or business in e-commerce, retail, or tech that you think is currently doing great?
A startup. Okay. I like Healing Rose. I think that she's doing good as far as like a CBD stuff. She's got a great line of stuff, and she's well respected in the community. And I always love like, seeing the things that she's coming up with and the testimonials that people get. And she's out of Massachusetts, so I think she's doing a great job.
A peer entrepreneur or business person whom you look up to, or someone who inspires you?
Gosh, I say Cynthia from CEI. I think that she really like opened up my eyes as far as like what our potential could be, and what the opportunity was, and like what I had to learn too. And so she's like, never be afraid to learn. Take this all in and learn as much as you can.
And final question, best business advice you ever received or you would give to other entrepreneurs?
Make sure that you do your homework first. Make sure that you come up with a business plan, and never quit your full-time job. Start it up as a hobby. And then when it's successful and you feel like, okay, all right, I can make an income from this, that's when you pivot.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you so much for your time today, for sharing your story and sharing, challenges with your business, how you overcame them, and some of the strategies and tactics that you use to start and grow your business. If people want to purchase your products, what is the best way they can get in touch?
Yeah, so just check out healingharbors.com, and we've got a line of all of our products. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us at customercare@healingharbors.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Stacy, again, for your time and for sharing your story with us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Really appreciate it.
Anytime. Bye.